Hey y'all. Alright, so at some point today, it's supposed to storm. I love storms, but I can't exactly be down here when that happens, so if the storm decides to interrupt me, I will finish the video as soon as I can. Alright, so now that said that, in this video, I'll be talking about shelters. Yeah, shelters. One of the first things you want to look for when you're looking for shelters is going to be spots that allow you to naturally build the shelter. That is, if you don't have not natural, but a shelter that you have on your back, such as like a tent or a tarp or something like that. You can even use a poncho. Now, I'm going to walk you through the woods and show you a few different examples of how you could use the setup to make a natural shelter. Alright, you see how this got this crook in this tree right here? You can actually use that to make a small lean-to shelter. See how this stick, I've got this stick cooked up in that crook right there? You can use that, but then you could lean sticks around on the side of this to create the framework. And then you just pile leaves and vegetation, all kinds of stuff on the side to create the thick walls, which will help waterproof it. This is one way you can help to make yourself a natural shelter. And you don't have to use a saw to cut these logs. You can just find dead logs that are already broken off or whatever. Alright, let's find another spot. So you've got this huge hill right here. This could act as a great windbreak if you're stuck somewhere where it's very windy. Now, you could lean long sticks against this and use this as a very temporary shelter. I would not recommend this over long term because water will run down this hill and that will make your experience a little less pleasant. Now, right here, there's something else you can use. You see how that stick's laying there like that? Now, just like I talked about, you could use that stick in the tree crevice. You can do the same thing with this one. Break all those under sticks off and lean sticks against it to create the skeleton work. And then just crawl in there and go sleep. Yeah, I know sleeping isn't exactly easy in a survival situation, but yeah, you gotta try, right? I mean, right here, it's all kinds of different ways you could do that. When you're out, you want to look for stuff like caves, caverns. Dang it. I think I might be getting sick. Anyway. You want to look for places you can crawl and hide under. You know, think like the animals. Alright, so I'm going to go look for another spot. And then I'll get back to y'all. There's another example of a way you can make a frame with the basics that Mother Nature gave you. When you're shelter building, you have to be absolutely creative. Now, I'm gonna go set you up somewhere where I'm not hitting my head on a stick every 2 seconds and talk about shelter sites and shelter locations. That sound good to y'all? Alright. Alright, y'all, so when you're choosing a shelter site, first, look up. If you see any dead limbs, dead trees, anything's dead, don't set there. You don't want nothing falling on you in the middle of the night. Because that might hurt, and that could cause injury, of which typically is very not hard to treat in a survival situation. Check to make sure when you're clearing the site that there isn't nothing that's going to bite you in the night, like ants or bugs or stuff like that. So that's just going to make the experience even more unpleasant. You also want to just check around, make sure there's no mosquito heavens around. You know, no areas where there's typically standing water. Don't shelter near those areas. You don't want to sit at the base of a hill either, because rainwater's gonna go down that hill and you're probably gonna get wet too. Never, never, never shelter in a dry anything bed. Don't shelter in a creek bed or a river bed or a lake bed or a pond bed or anything where there once was water, because flash floods tend to happen, and more people do actually die in the desert. Yes, the desert, drowning than anything else. Why? Because nobody expects there to be floods. Nobody expects there to be water anywhere. Ain't that kind of funny? So you need to check for a lot of things when you're building your shelter site. And you also need to know what shelter you're going to build first. Like, are you going to build a summer shelter, a winter shelter, a temporary shelter, a long-term shelter? If you're going to do a long-term one, I suggest you build a short-term one first, for you to sleep in while you work on your long-term one. Because your long-term one is going to take a day or 2 or 3. I mean, a whole day. You can't go out hike and then build a long-term shelter in just a couple hours. That don't happen. Alright, so I'll see y'all in the next video on building a shelter. There are kinds of shelters you can build, and I'll show you a few different ones. Okay?